Hey folks, this is Sarukrishna, aka Rustic Rodeo. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So, our plan for the day was to go to Gingee Fort, which is located in Viluppuram district. And so, we had to depart around 5 in the morning from Tambaram. We took the NH44, which goes through Chengalpattu, then Dindivanam, and then to Gingee Fort. And so, we thought, why don't we just quickly hop into Thiruvannamalai temple? History tells us that the Arunachaleswara temple in Tiruvannamalai was built by the kings of the Chola dynasty. There are actually 4 gopurams to get into the temple, and the tallest gopuram, known as the Raja Gopuram, which is 66 meters in height, can be seen in this video. As soon as we entered through the gopuram, we could sense that not only the pillars and the sculptures, even the air is filled with faith. These magnificent structures by Cholas actually kept me wondering for a long time that how did they even pull this off? These greens and blues and the architecture actually showed me the harmony between the architecture and the art of nature. Gingee Fort, also known as the Troy of East, was built by the Chola dynasty in the 13th century. The first thing we get to see inside the fort is the Kalyana Mahal, which is the white pyramid-like structure built in an Indo-Islamic style. Walking past the Kalyana Mahal, I got to see a big banyan tree, which actually reminded me of my childhood and made me do this. Jokes apart, I had a good time hanging on the roots of the banyan tree, which actually reminded me of a work that I wrote that goes like, reminiscing my innocent childhood under the shadows of the huge banyan tree, swinging on the roots, taming my solitary soul, independent, wild, and free, childhood that has been lost forever. Right after the huge banyan tree, we could see a pond which is called the Elephant's Tank. In Tamil, they call it as Yanai Kulam. It is located to the east of the gymnasium. It is believed that the elephants took bath in this tank, which the elephants which took part in the war actually took bath in this tank, and architecturally this tank may be datable to the Nayakar period. This is definitely a well constructed tank with steps all around. And to the west of the elephant tank, we could see a white, big granite building with a wagon shaped roof, which is the gymnasium, the place which they used to do physical exercise. This particular building actually caught my attention, and I really wanted to know what is it used for. And it ended up being a granary where they actually store the grains. These are some of the things that we got to see in the ground level of the Gingee Fort. Now at the ground level of Gingee Fort. Our hiking journey is about to begin from here. Quick tip, if you're planning to visit Gingee, please do carry at least 2 to 3 bottles of water because it drains you a lot. Because as usual, it's a heritage place, but look at what we Indians could do to that. Life is short, but love lives long. Oh, is that so? And after a few steps, we got to witness our first view of the day, and this is how it looks. And around 11 am in the morning, we came across the first artillery, that is none other than the cannon itself. At first glance, I thought it could be a telescope because it was pointing right at the ground, that is down the castle. We felt exhausted while taking the steps, but there is a sudden deviation when the Gopuram caught our eyes. Out of excitement to reach the Gopuram, I started running like crazy. And here's the Gopuram itself. Only when I got close to the Gopuram, I realized that it is not just a Gopuram, it's actually a temple, and there is a deity over there. And to my surprise, there was a view from the temple which was mind blowing. Was the run worth it? Heck yeah!
One eternity later.
And after climbing an infinity number of steps, we got to witness the fourth view of the day, which was enchanting and gave us a slight bit of relief, but it didn't last for a while. We are already tired of climbing all these steps, which made us wonder how did the people of Chola dynasty manage to climb this? That too not for one day, but every day. Is it because I'm having a bad physique or they are stronger? It's the first bridge we came across, and there was no particular description about this bridge, but the view on the other side of this bridge was man oh man, it was fantabulous. We could see the entire Gingee from here, the civilization, the people, the vehicles, the roads, and it is magnificent. This is basically a short little deviation that happened right before the end point and which turned out to be something really good. This is basically the other side of Gingee, which we love the most because it's just greens and blues, which is far away from what we saw from the bridge, the civilization part. This is the extreme end you can visit during this trek, guys, and surprisingly, we found another temple here. Of all the other experiences that we had in this trek, this is my favorite part. The feeling of fresh air on my face and the wind blowing through my hair immediately puts a smile on my face. So this is my quick vlog about the Gingee Fort, and it is approximately 160 kilometers away from Chennai, and it takes at least 3 hours to travel from Chennai to Gingee Fort. And I traveled all the way to feel the ancient intangibles and hear the whispers of history. And if you are a person like me, I definitely recommend you to go and visit Gingee. That's it for this video, guys. See you in the next one. Until then, cheers.